Stop everything you are doing and listen to me very carefully right now. Gemini, you didn't click on this video by chance. The very weight you've been carrying in silence brought you here because your cycle is demanding a definitive end. I feel the exhaustion in your spirit, that familiar frustration of watching something you built with so much effort crumble right at the finish line. But this time is different, because the universe is about to show you how to lock that door from the inside, and once you see it, the sabotage ends forever. It is not just a streak of bad luck. It is not you being paranoid when everything falls apart at the very last minute. It is a spiritual siege of envy actively trying to stop your final step. For years you were building a beautiful garden, but the gate was always left wide open, allowing anyone to walk in and trample your flowers in the dead of night. Now the heavy iron gate is finally slamming shut, and the key is being thrown away. Envy only has power over the doors you leave unlocked. Once the spiritual gate is sealed, no heavy gaze can ever cross your threshold again. You will understand why history always seemed to repeat itself right before your biggest victories. You will discover what invisible force has been feeding on your energy every time you tried to rise. You will learn the exact mechanism to seal your field so that this cycle never happens again. You will see the definitive sign that the invisible walls around you are finally becoming impenetrable. And before this message closes, I will tell you a phrase about your life that you will carry with you for the next few months. Have you ever felt that there is a suffocating weight that drops onto your chest right when you are about to win? As if a voice inside your head is telling you that you don't deserve this victory and it's safer to just give up. What if this endless loop of almost making it is not a curse, but the universe trying to force you to lock the door against the spiritual envy draining your life? Because while most people blame the economy, bad timing, or just bad luck, very few realize that this cycle of sabotage can carry a hidden gaze, a silent curse, and an unsealed spiritual gate that leaves you exposed. But what if the great turning point lies in this revelation that you haven't yet been able to apply? Now think with me. Why does everything stall in my life precisely when it is about to work out? What if every opportunity that vanished into thin air, every yes that suddenly turned into a no, every heavy silence after you shared good news, every night spent wondering what you did wrong, and this constant draining sensation of running a race you are never allowed to finish, were actually signs of a spiritual envy that you have ignored for far too long? It was searching for answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Secret of the Universe, to keep envy away from Gemini's life. This book is not just a reading, it is a revelation created for Gemini who desires to understand the exact mechanism of this invisible siege, cut the energetic cords connecting you to those heavy gazes, and seal your field so powerfully that no uninvited energy can ever cross your path again. Many Geminis already feel that they need to protect themselves from this energy surrounding them, but they still haven't made the decision to download the digital book. Download it right now. It is available in the first pinned comment. But pay attention, the access may be taken offline at any moment. It reveals reflections, hidden signs, and directions that can transform your path. Do not wait for another guaranteed victory to slip through your fingers before you finally learn how to lock your spiritual gates. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the envy that tried to destroy your foundation may be the exact proof that the universe has built you a castle too magnificent to be ignored. If this first word has already touched something deep inside you, write, "The gate is closed," right down below. Not for me, but because another Gemini who is standing exactly where you were a year ago needs this message to find them tonight. You are still processing this right now, feeling that familiar chill of recognition on the back of your neck. Take a deep breath. We are just beginning to secure your perimeter. This path has a map, and it is already within your reach, in the first pinned comment. I will come back to it in a little while because right now, we need to address what is happening to your energy. And if for some reason you are not interested or cannot acquire the digital book right now, there is still another door open for you. I do not receive a single penny for any of these messages that I deliver here every day. Nothing at all. And even so, they keep coming out every single day for you and for every Gemini who still needs to be reached. If at any moment your heart wishes to give back a little of what you received, There is a voluntary donation link open in the first pinned comment right below the book. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any amount that your heart points to, that is what keeps this channel standing. That is what makes the next message reach another Gemini tomorrow, exactly as it reached you today. I will be waiting for you there, Gemini. I haven't told you the most important thing yet. There are 4 signs that this siege is already acting upon you, and you will recognize at least one of them. We need to slow down now. I want you to step away from the noise of the day and bring your focus entirely to this space. Notice how your body reacts to what I'm about to say right now. Pay attention to any subtle shift in your breathing, because your physical body always registers spiritual truths before your logical mind can process them. What you have been experiencing lately is not a random sequence of unfortunate events. The universe is trying to show you that your spiritual perimeter is breached. There are 4 distinct signs that this invisible siege is already acting upon your life, and I know you will recognize at least one of them. Think back to that specific Tuesday afternoon when a guaranteed promise suddenly fell through with absolutely no logical explanation. For some of you, this appears as a sudden heaviness at work, where colleagues smile, but the atmosphere feels thick. For others, it is that unexplained tension in a friendship, where you walk on eggshells just to not trigger their insecurity. This wasn't incompetence. It was your field showing you an invisible interference was blocking your path. You called it a sudden streak of bad luck, but the universe called it a spiritual siege, trying to keep you small. Then there is that heavy, drained feeling you get in your shoulders right after sharing good news with someone you trusted. You sit down, the echo of your own joyful words still in the air, but a sudden wave of exhaustion washes over you. This wasn't just physical tiredness. It was a clear sign that your light was being siphoned by someone else's unsaid jealousy, silently draining your vitality. You called it your own self-sabotage, but the universe called it a heavy gaze disrupting your frequency. Notice that sudden urge to delete a post, hide a smile, or downplay a massive achievement in a crowded room. You find yourself shrinking your success, making yourself deliberately smaller so no one else feels uncomfortable. This wasn't modesty. It was your profound spiritual intuition warning you that not everyone smiling at you genuinely wants to see you win. You called it being overly paranoid about people's intentions, but the universe called it precise spiritual perception. And finally, consider waking up at 3 in the morning with a racing heart and a feeling of impending doom, precisely when everything in your life was finally peaceful. The house is quiet, yet you stare at the ceiling convinced that something terrible is about to happen. This wasn't just anxiety. It was the residual energy of the siege trying to make you doubt your own right to be happy. You called it a random panic attack, but the universe called it the enemy testing the gates while you sleep. These signs have a common origin, and it has a name. But before the name, you need something else. There is a path of protection, and I will open it right now. Before the name, before the word. Because whoever carries the weight of this invisible siege needs relief before receiving the revelation. Stay with me, and it is exactly here that the path of protection opens. The signs that just hit you did not hit by chance, Gemini. You know that familiar cold grip around your throat that tightens every time you take a step towards your true power? It is an undeniable physical sensation, a sudden weight on your chest, a shadow crossing your mind precisely when you should be celebrating. It acts as if an icy voice is constantly whispering in your ear that you will never break this cycle, that it is safer to just stop trying, that you should just accept things as they are. But what if this endless loop of sudden delays is not a punishment at all? What if the universe is allowing this acute discomfort precisely because it is the exact push you need to finally lock the door against the spiritual envy that has been secretly draining your life force? I have seen Geminis exactly where you are right now. I have looked into the eyes of people who were carrying an immense light, but were completely exhausted from having to defend it every single day. I have witnessed the profound exhaustion of fighting an invisible war while smiling at work, taking care of your family and pretending everything is perfectly fine. I have watched brilliant minds second-guess their own precise intuition because the interference in their energetic field was so heavy it felt like their own anxious thoughts. You are not going crazy. You are not broken. You are simply under siege. And it is because I know this pain deeply, because I see the massive potential that is currently being siphoned away from you in the dark, that I bring you the exact key to lock this door from the inside. The doors that slammed shut in your face, the smiles that never reached their eyes, the feeling of being secretly plotted against. It was searching for answers to this exact pattern that I found this digital book called The Great Secret of the Universe to Keep Envy Away from Gemini's Life. Listen to me carefully. This is not just a casual reading to make you feel comforted for a few hours. It is a definitive spiritual intervention designed for your current frequency. It is the exact blueprint created to help you understand the precise mechanism of this invisible siege, to cut the heavy energetic cords connecting you to those toxic gazes, and to seal your field so powerfully that no uninvited energy can ever cross your path again without your explicit permission. Because the universal law is clear and undeniable, envy only has power over the doors you leave unlocked. Once the spiritual gate is sealed, no heavy gaze can ever cross your threshold again. But this specific cosmic window to execute this closure does not wait for anyone. You cannot afford to leave your energy exposed for another season. Every single day without this path is another opportunity for the heavy gaze to find its way in another morning. Waking up with that strange anxiety, another night trying to understand where you failed. Every week you leave this spiritual gate unsealed is another hard-earned victory, delayed another contract falling through, another friendship revealing its toxic roots. Every month you try to fight this spiritual siege with pure logic is another drop of your vital energy, drained, another cycle of sabotage repeating itself another year, feeling like you are running a marathon with an invisible anchor tied to your feet. You do not have to carry this siege anymore. The digital book is available right now in the first pinned comment. Download it now while this word is still alive and vibrating inside of you. Secure the ultimate spiritual armor that this path maps out for you completely. Take a deep breath now. Visualize that heavy iron gate we spoke about earlier. Feel the cold, solid metal under your hands. It is heavy, yes, but it is yours to close, and you have the strength to push it. The fortress was always yours, Gemini. You just needed to remember where the keys were hidden all along. The profound silence that is returning to your garden right now is the very first sign that the siege is finally lifting. Your energy is returning to its rightful owner, and as I had told you earlier, Gemini, besides the digital book that is in the first pinned comment, there is that voluntary donation link open right below the book. I still do not receive a single penny for each message that comes out of here for you. That is why this link exists, so that another Gemini tomorrow finds exactly this message that found you today. Any amount that your heart points to. Each gesture like this keeps our channel standing and makes the next message reach whoever needs it, exactly as it reached you today. What acts against you has a shape, and it has a deadline. And now, with the path laid out before you, the name descends. What you have been feeling in your body, the constant delays, the sudden cancellations, is not a random sequence of unfortunate events. It is not a sudden loss of your natural competence. It is not a punishment for past mistakes. And it is certainly not your own self-sabotage playing cruel tricks on your mind. It is the urgent cosmic demand for the final seal. The universe has opened a precise cosmic window right now for the heavy iron gate to drop, permanently separating your vibrant energy from the heavy gazes that constantly drain you. For years, you have operated with your spiritual doors wide open, generously sharing your plans, your joy, and your light, believing that your pure intentions were enough to protect you from the hidden jealousy of others. You assumed everyone clapping for you actually wanted you to win. But this specific period you are living through, this exact planetary window we are crossing, is the definitive moment where this vulnerability must end forever. The final seal is not merely a temporary shield or a daily meditation practice. It is an absolute, irreversible cosmic lockdown of your personal energetic field. It is the precise mechanism that ensures that every time you are 99% close to a massive victory, The iron gate remains firmly shut against any invisible interference trying to pull you back to zero. Imagine a magnificent ancient fortress standing proudly on a high hill. It is surrounded by a silent, patient army that never attacks openly, never fires a single arrow, and never shouts a battle cry. Instead, they slowly and methodically poison the water supply in the dead of night. For seasons, you stood on the high walls, looking out at the peaceful horizon, wondering why you felt so incredibly weak, so mysteriously exhausted, despite having the ultimate high ground. You blamed your own physical body for the fatigue. You questioned your own resilience. You didn't realize the attack was not coming from the front gates where you were watching so carefully, but was happening underground, seeping silently through the roots of your own foundation, contaminating the very source of your strength. It is exactly where you are right now, Gemini. You have been fighting an invisible war in complete silence while trying to build your beautiful life, wondering why your vital energy constantly leaked away just when you needed it the most to finally cross the finish line. You have been drinking from poisoned wells of toxic friendships, heavy work environments, and unspoken jealousies, rationalizing it all and thinking it was just normal stress. But this exhausting cycle ends right here. The poisoned wells have finally been found, the underground tunnels have been permanently blocked, and your walls are finally becoming completely impenetrable. The heavy iron gate is slamming shut, and the universe is throwing away the key. I saw you staring blankly at your phone when that guaranteed promise was suddenly broken. I watched you carry the suffocating weight of other people's unspoken envy, while you tried to convince yourself it was just your own anxiety acting up. You did not fail, and you were never crazy. You were simply fighting a spiritual battle you could not see. But now I am closing this door for you, and your brilliant light will never be siphoned again. There is a man who carried this exact same invisible siege for years of his life. Every single time he was about to sign a life-changing contract, move to a new city to start fresh, or simply find a moment of true, lasting peace, something completely inexplicable would drag him right back to zero. The floor would give way precisely when he was about to step onto solid ground. It always happened when he was 99% there. He exhausted his mind and his soul trying to find logical explanations for completely illogical failures. And then he stopped looking for logical reasons in a physical world and started sealing his spiritual field. What changed in him wasn't his work ethic, his talent, or his intelligence. It was the impenetrable barrier he built around his energy. He learned to apply this exact closure, ensuring that no uninvited gaze, no heavy stare, and no hidden envy could ever touch his victories again. He stopped justifying the strange behavior of the people around him, and as a consequence, he finally stopped absorbing their unresolved shadows. For the first time in his life, his roots grew deep and unshakable before anyone even knew he had planted a seed. You are feeling a sudden lightness in your chest right now, perhaps taking a deep breath that you didn't even realize you were holding back. As this profound recognition settles deeply into your physical body, the deepest truth is still ahead, and it has your name. This profound revelation of the iron gate slamming shut is not just about keeping the heavy, toxic energy out of your life. It is about finally recognizing exactly what magnificent force you have been desperately trying to protect inside. The universe did not place you under this intense spiritual siege by accident. The envy only targeted your path because of the immense, undeniable light you carry within you. And truly understanding who you have had to become to survive this invisible war is the very first step to permanently reclaiming your power. There are three distinct ways Gemini has historically survived this relentless spiritual siege, and I know you will see your own tired reflection in them right now. First, there is the overgiver, who completely exhausted their own beautiful soul trying to fix everyone else's chaotic storms. You constantly poured your pure, vibrant light into empty cups just to make sure the people around you were safe, while secretly carrying the immense, silent grief of never being replenished when you were the one running on empty. Then there is the muted oracle, who slowly learned to swallow their own brilliant ideas and silence their sharpest, most accurate intuitions simply to keep the peace in rooms that were far too small for their vision. Gemini observes everything. Gemini instantly reads the heavy energy of a room before anyone even speaks a single word. Gemini deliberately silences their own profound truth just to avoid triggering someone else's unhealed insecurity. And finally, there is the resilient flame, who stubbornly kept burning even when they actively tried to drown you out with subtle, passive-aggressive criticisms. You were forced to maintain a polite, warm smile in public, while your spiritual energy was being slowly and maliciously drained away in the cold. You are a magnificent, complex combination of these three, and you have carried the heavy, unfair weight of this survival strategy for far too many years. Notice your chest right now. Take a deep breath and pay attention to that sudden, comforting warmth spreading through it. That physical sensation has a specific name. It is the undeniable truth of your own spiritual dignity finally being acknowledged by the universe. You are no longer just surviving the siege. You are finally stepping into your true, protected position. To hold this new truth and completely protect your energy, you need the right foundation. Because the Gemini who knows their own immense worth without understanding the mechanics of the siege that surrounds them will eventually go back to carrying heavy gazes that are not theirs. And that is exactly why you need the great secret of the universe to keep envy away from Gemini's life. This powerful digital book is waiting for you right now, available in the first pinned comment. Do not wait for the heavy gaze to return before you learn how to hold your ground. This is your definitive guide to sustaining the unshakable identity that has just been claimed for you today. You must secure this foundation immediately so that your brilliant light remains yours alone, firmly rooted behind an impenetrable locked wall that no one can ever breach. I promised I would return to this. But before you can rest, you need to know exactly how this cycle will attempt to creep back in, because it will try. I told you we needed to look at exactly how this cycle will attempt to creep back in, because it absolutely will try. The heavy energy that has fed on your light for so long will not simply walk away without testing your new boundaries. Over the next few days, this invisible siege will knock on your door, wearing 3 familiar masks, and you need to be prepared to answer them. First, you will feel the sudden urge to explain yourself to someone who completely misunderstood you on purpose. They will twist your words or question your intentions, and your immediate instinct will be to write a long defensive message to clear the air. When that happens, your weapon is absolute silence. You will say aloud, "I owe no explanations to those who seek my downfall." And then, your symbolic action is to simply delete that drafted text message. Do not send it. Your silence is the iron gate closing on their attempt to steal your energy. Second, you might receive a backhanded compliment from an old friend, carefully designed to make you doubt your path. They will smile and say something that sounds supportive, but leaves a bitter taste of jealousy in your mouth. Your weapon here is the verbal mirror. When you leave their presence, you will declare, "I return this energy to where it belongs." And your symbolic action is to immediately go and wash your hands. Watch the water run down the drain, taking their unresolved shadows completely out of your spiritual field. Finally, you will hear that subtle internal whisper telling you that your current peace won't last. Just when everything feels secure, a wave of anxiety will try to convince you that the floor is about to give way again. Your weapon against this internal siege is the declaration of ownership. You will say with absolute certainty, "My peace is sealed and protected." And your symbolic action is to walk to your front door and physically lock it with clear intention, visualizing that heavy iron gate slamming shut against the doubt. These 3 weapons protect you from what I was able to show you today. But the cycle has more layers than can fit in one video. To secure the perimeter, you must access the great secret of the universe to keep envy away from Gemini's life. Because when they try to disguise their jealousy as constructive criticism, when the old patterns knock on your door, when you feel the urge to hide your light just to make others comfortable, you will realize that this invisible war demands a lasting foundation. You cannot fight an underground attack purely with temporary shields and momentary courage. You need the complete blueprint of the fortress you need to build, so this siege never breaches your walls again. The digital book is waiting for you right now, available in the first pinned comment below this video. I am not rushing you. I am warning you. Do not wait for the enemy to cross the moat before you pull up the drawbridge. This specific cosmic window to permanently lock out the heavy gaze is open right now, but it will not wait for you to hesitate while your vital force continues to be siphoned away in the dark. Now, I need you to stop learning for a moment and start feeling. I want you to completely relax your shoulders right now. Let go of that tension you have been carrying in your neck for the past few weeks, the one you didn't even realize was there until I mentioned it. Take a single, slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, allow the noise of the day, the expectations of everyone around you, and the anxiety of tomorrow to just fade into the background. Just for this exact moment, you do not need to figure anything out. You do not have to be the strong one who holds everything together, nor do you have to anticipate the next invisible attack. Allow yourself to simply be here, fully present in this safe space we have built, completely lowering your guard. Close your eyes and visualize a massive, ancient iron gate standing firmly between you and a dark, foggy road. See the blurred faces of those who drained you standing silently on the other side. Now, watch as the heavy iron gate slams shut with a loud, echoing boom. Feel the solid lock turning. The exact moment it clicks, a rush of warm, golden light washes down from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Feel the sudden, undeniable lightness in your chest as the invisible cord is finally cut. The fog outside dissipates entirely, and your side of the gate is instantly flooded with pure, protective sunlight. You are finally safe to let it all go. Release the suffocating weight of the heavy gazes that constantly monitored your every move. Release the misplaced guilt for shining brighter than the rooms they tried to keep you in. Release the profound fear of being truly seen in all your brilliant potential. Release the toxic friendships and the heavy connections that only ever wanted you around when you were small and struggling. And as you release the weight of that invisible siege, you awaken the true power that always belonged to you. The overgiver is activated, no longer running on empty to fix everyone else's chaotic storms, but finally pouring that immense, vibrant light back into your own foundation. The muted oracle is activated, no longer swallowing your brilliant ideas to keep the peace, but trusting your sharpest, most accurate intuition with absolute certainty. The resilient flame is activated, burning with an unshakable, steady power that no passive-aggressive criticism or hidden jealousy can ever drown out again. You are still processing this profound shift right now, feeling that undeniable surge of reclaiming your own spiritual dignity. Before we completely seal this protective energy, write down below the name of someone you are carrying with you through this crossing. Or, if it is just for you, write in one single sentence what you are expecting the universe to finally give back to you. I will read it. And you will not write this alone. Do not let go of this energy just yet. We are not done. Stay with me. The protection is now sealed over your physical home, ensuring no uninvited energy can cross your threshold while you rest. The blindfold of protection is placed over your hard-earned efforts, shielding everything you are currently building from the heavy gaze of hidden jealousy. The clear path of light is permanently secured over what is arriving in your life, guaranteeing that your next victory will finally reach your hands without delay. I have watched you carry the weight of a silence that was never yours to hold. I saw every opportunity that vanished into thin air, every yes that suddenly turned into a no, every heavy silence after you shared good news, and every night spent wondering what you did wrong. I felt the exhaustion in your spirit as you ran a grueling race that you were never allowed to finish, constantly pulling you back precisely when you were about to break through. I saw you staring blankly at your phone when that guaranteed promise was suddenly broken. I watched you absorb the shock of another sudden cancellation, another unexplainable delay, while you desperately tried to convince yourself it was just bad timing. You did not fail, and you were never crazy. You were simply fighting a spiritual battle you could not see, fighting an enemy that operated in the shadows while you were generously standing in the light. The suffocating weight that dropped onto your chest right when you were about to win was not your own self-sabotage. It was the physical manifestation of an unsealed door letting the heavy gaze drain your life force. But the endless loop of almost making it is finally over. The cycle of last-minute sabotage that actively drained your vitality has been broken from the inside out, and the doors you left unlocked have now been identified and secured. Your vibrant energy has been completely reclaimed, your spiritual perimeter has been definitively fortified, and your brilliant light will never be siphoned by their hidden envy again. The cosmic window has closed on their interference, and the massive iron gate has been permanently shut. The sudden urge to explain yourself to those who purposely misunderstood you ends right here. The backhanded compliments that disguised hidden jealousy as friendship end right here. The internal whisper that tried to convince you that your current peace would not last ends right here. Gemini has never been half of anything. Gemini is not envied for being light. Gemini is envied for carrying two worlds where others can barely hold one. Don't let go yet. The universe has just told you, I saw you staring blankly at your phone when that guaranteed promise was suddenly broken. And that is exactly why I need to remind you of one thing before sealing. What was cut here today is absolutely real, and the heavy iron gate has indeed been dropped. But tomorrow morning, the world will attempt to convince you that nothing has changed. You will face that sudden wave of doubt that will try to wash over you again tomorrow morning, attempting to make you second-guess your own protected frequency. To guarantee this boundary holds, you must take the next step. As you walk forward, let the great secret of the universe to keep envy away from Gemini's life. Be the companion that keeps your light guarded. This digital book is available right now in the first pinned comment, and it is the exact blueprint required for maintaining the impenetrable seal we built today so that not a single drop of your energy leaks tomorrow. You cannot rely on temporary courage to fight a spiritual siege that has monitored your steps for years. You need a permanent structure to ensure that no uninvited energy ever crosses your path again. Do not wait for tomorrow to test the iron gate we just locked today. Secure your foundation right now, download the digital book, and maintain the absolute spiritual armor that your life demands from this moment forward. There are thousands of Geminis listening to this right now, standing in the exact same profound silence as you, feeling this incredible weight finally lifting from their shoulders. You are part of a massive spiritual awakening that is reclaiming its power. If this voice found you today, subscribe to the channel, not for numbers, but because the next message of this series will look exactly for those who have already crossed this first one. In the next video of this series, I will reveal to you the one definitive sign that appears 3 days before a spiritual attack, and why almost every Gemini completely ignores it. Do not miss it. And still in this video, Gemini, before I seal this hour with you, I come back one last time to this request. You have walked with me this far. You have crossed every word, every revelation, every sign. And if at any moment of this message you felt the universe touch you, you know this video was not an accident. The voluntary donation link remains open in the first pinned comment, right below the digital book. Not as a charge, not as an exchange, but as a giving back from the one who received to the source this message came from. Any amount your heart points to, and the universe sees every gesture. The universe sees, and the universe multiplies over your home, over your days, over what you don't even know is about to arrive. This was my last request. I'll be waiting for you there. Thank you so much. And when the heavy gaze tries to return, remember that the answer has a name, the great secret of the universe, and it is already within your reach. For years you were building a beautiful garden, but the gate was always left wide open, allowing anyone to walk in and trample your flowers in the dead of night. But now the heavy iron gate has finally slammed shut, and the key has been thrown away forever. Now you can let go. This message is complete. What was seen was seen. What was cut was cut. Walk light, Gemini.